Spellagis is yet another game to throw its hat, wizard hat that is, into the ring and follow suit with other games like Vampire Survivors and Brotato. This is an arena shooter that plays a little bit like an action roguelike, but for the most part is a very basic arena shooter. If you've played Brotato before, you'll be very familiar with how this plays and flows, and if you haven't, and you're new to these style of games and wondering if this is a good one for you to start with, honestly, I think that it is. And the reason for that is because every aspect of this game is incredibly basic. The simple premise is that you will clear waves of enemies, up to 15 total waves. There's also 15 total levels. You'll unlock them one at a time. There's different characters you can unlock, with there being 8 total that you will also unlock as you progress through it. And the main thing that you're going to do in this game is just survive. It auto shoots. You don't have to worry about anything other than moving around the screen, let it do its thing, and collect the coins so that you can purchase upgrades in between the waves. There's also barrels that'll drop health potions, and very quickly you're going to see all the game has to offer, because there's only like 9 different enemy types, and there's no boss fights. Not even a single boss fight. Final boss? Nope. I was pretty disappointed to see that there wasn't. The game flows pretty quickly, and you'll burn through the 15 rounds on each level in probably less than 20 minutes or so. It'll depend on how long you take to purchase your upgrades in between waves with your gold. And for the most part, the runs did feel a little bit different, but it didn't quite feel as varied as games like Vampire Survivors. So if you are big into games like this one might be a little too basic for you, and you might find it to be boring. And if you're new to these types of games, understand that they're meant to be a bit repetitive, and this one certainly is as well. But it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it took me about 4 hours or so to play through all 15 levels, unlock all the characters, which I played as each one at least once, and unlocked all of the achievements. So there's not a wealth of content here, so it's over fairly quickly. So if you're just looking for something to kill a few hours, you could certainly do much worse. But if you're a veteran in these style of games, I think you might find this one to be a bit disappointing. The presentation is pretty good. I did like the pixel art, but the environments, and basically the environment is just one big square, but the terrain on the ground is really bland and boring to look at. You would expect a little bit more detail, but it just kind of looks like it's a beta texture. I don't know, it's pretty bland. The music is okay. It's not fantastic, but it's not awful either. It's serviceable. And at the end of each run, there is an option to spend crystals that you earn from your runs on permanent upgrades. Most of these things are just like buffs to your health, your attack speed, things like that. And a lot of the upgrades during the levels will also be that same type of basic stat buffs. But what's kind of baffling about this is that when you pause the game, you would think that it would show you your stats for your current run, but it doesn't. So you never really know like what your attack speed is, what's your defense, what's your attack power. It feels like a huge oversight to not give you your stats in this screen. And sometimes when you're picking relics, like, how do I know which ones I should prioritize if I don't know what my stats are? I don't know. The game's really not that hard, so I think it's just an oversight on their part, but this one's okay. Like, if you like these style of games and you don't mind that it's really basic, sure, it's pretty fun for like the first 2 hours, and then I kind of wanted it to be over, but I stuck with it all the way through to the end. And if you're new to this genre, this might also be a good one for you, because it's so basic that it's a good entry point for new players in these style of games. But for those of you that are absolute veterans that like more complex gameplay, like Nordic Ashes or maybe the Renfield game, this one will be pretty basic and pretty disappointing for you, so maybe give it a pass in that instance. Appreciate you watching this quick review. Hope you found it helpful. If you did, give the video a like, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But until next time, have a good one.